You are listening to Random Gameplay Pimpin.
Studio MacGyver, and you are listening to Random Gameplay Pimpin'. What is going down, guys? If you're new to the podcast, welcome to the show. If you're into video games, anime, nerd culture, then you've come to the right place because we talk about all of that shit here. This is podcast episode number 293. Welcome to the show, guys. I'm just letting you know ahead of time. I have been drinking sake. My sake glass is filled to the brim. I'm having a relaxing time right now in front of this microphone, so just bear with your boy tonight, okay? Recording this podcast a little earlier than I usually do. I try to get them in early if I can, because when you have kids, you know, you gotta schedule the shit properly, okay? Especially when you have a 2-year-old in the mix. That's just what you got to do. So you got to get creative sometimes. And that is what I'm doing. I am literally multitasking as I speak to you guys right now. I have the computer on recording, but I also have my Nintendo Switch on, and I have Zach on the screen right now. And we are farming. Okay. We are grinding. All right. I'm sitting here at the Shinra Electric Power Company right now with Zach, and he's putting in work, so to speak, on the sideline for me. Okay. Trying to get my guy right. And I'll get to Zach in Crisis Core a little bit later. But yeah, man, a lot to talk about today. Well, a few things at least. Going to talk about my anime watch list. I saw a banger this past week, guys. I want to talk about it. And I also want to talk about some anime news, which is pretty dope. I actually think it's pretty fly. And it leads me to ask a couple other questions concerning that. And I'll get to that as well. I also want to talk about Metal Gear Solid. I also want to talk about some PlayStation butter. Yes, PlayStation butter, if you ask me. And what is that? What am I talking about? I will get to that shortly. Please believe me. Also, what I've been playing, man, and I've been playing 2 games. One I just talked about, guys, and I'm very happy with this game. Also, there's another game, River City Girls 2. This game I've been talking about for probably months before the game came out. It's finally here. I'm going to talk about that as well. And also High on Life. Okay, had a chance to play that. If you guys don't know about that video game, if you're familiar with Rick and Morty, you may be familiar with this game. You may have heard of it. Maybe you haven't. I'm going to talk about that game a little bit. Also, last thing I want to discuss on this podcast is going to be remakes I wish we had. Okay, now this is coming from my perspective, of course. It's going to be what remakes have I thought about? What ones do I really want to happen? You know, and I'm sure we've all, as gamers, thought about this type of thing. Like, man, I really wish they would make this or make that. Because let's keep it real with each other. We're in an age now where this is happening all around us. Every time I fucking turn around, guys, there's another remake. There's this, there's that in the horizon. So it's only natural to want some of your own. Maybe some of your wishes have already been made, but there's probably some out there that's still in your mind. You're thinking, man, I really want this to happen. It could still happen. Who knows, guys? In this realm we live in right now in gaming, it could also be right down the street. Who fucking knows? But we're going to get into all of that and then some. So I think I'm going to start with PlayStation and their butter. Now, you may be wondering, oh shit, Studio MacGyver, what are you talking about? Whenever I hear or whenever I mention butter, most of my long-term listeners know usually it's not a good thing that's going to come behind that, okay? It's just not. So, hold on one second, guys. I have I need this. Hold on. Yeah, I was trying to do something in Crisis Core. I'm sorry. I need to keep my mind off of that screen, but I got to still kind of keep my eye on there because, you know, if you're sitting the controller down and it's just laying there idle, games now, pretty much most games, they just automatically go to turn off mode. The light will get dim on the Nintendo Switch, and then a couple minutes later, it will turn itself off. So That's what I was trying to focus on just now. I'm trying to do something. But anyway, loving the game. I'll get to that again, like I said later. But anyway, PlayStation, Sony, I'm bringing this butter up because they've just released some other games for their classic stuff. Okay. PlayStation Plus, if you don't know, they have different tiers, and the top tier is supposed to be around, I think, $18.99, I think somewhere around there. But anyway, it includes PlayStation 1, PSP, and PlayStation 3 games. Okay. But that part of the package, in my humble opinion, has been lackluster at best. Okay. It's just not been very good. And the games that they were announced just recently, I'm not even going to bring them up because they're not even worth it, guys. They're just some games that people just, pulled out of the sky. At least in my eyes, like I said, I always believe in games that one man's trash is another man's treasure. But this one, in my opinion, just was nothing but trash. But hey, it is what it is. That's what they're doing. I mean, people are looking for the best games, and I don't understand why Sony's kind of bird feeding us this thing. That's why I decided just to go with the $14.99 package, which, is a pretty good package. You get everything but those classic games. So you still get your 2 free games a month, like you would have if you paid your $10 a month on there. And then you got other games as well you have access to. So they're doing their thing kind of like Game Pass, but in my humble opinion, it's not as good as Game Pass. And if it just depends, it really depends on what kind of gamer you are. If you're a Sony guy and you've been playing Sony stuff, it's probably not going to be better. If you're a new gamer and has never really got into the Sony side of things, then you might be able to argue that, because they do offer a lot of games without, without some of the stuff you get access to just for having a PlayStation 5, some of the classics. So, you could argue that it's kind of gray when you want to talk about that type of stuff. So I just think, as a Sony fan, though, they could do better with these games, man. I think they should be putting this stuff, just letting all the games out. I think they shouldn't hold back. And I don't know why they're doing that, because the longer they do stuff like that, it's going to get dry, and people are going to get turned off by it. And once people, put their controllers down on that aspect, they're not coming back, man. They're just not. Excuse me while I take a sip of this sake. I'm sorry, guys. Like I told you guys, I am indulging tonight. Ooh, yeah, it's pretty strong. But anyway, that's all I wanted to say about Sony. I mean, it's not, no big thing. I just think that they could do better. They definitely could do better. The butter joke is because, hey, I mean, in my eyes, Sony's in some boardroom talking about, hey, we might need to think about putting out some of our own butter very soon. And the butter is going to be called, on the side of the tub of the butter, it'll say, PlayStation Plus Classic. Okay, because they're serving up butter right now, guys. They're trying to fuck people with these games that they have now and the games that they're not giving us now. That's just how I feel about it. I always go with the butter analogy when I feel something's not right, somebody's trying to get fucked, and, I'm just keeping it real. As much as I love Sony, I'm sorry, Sonny, you guys know I'm a big Sony guy, so I can't pull any punches on this. I just got to keep it real. So that's how I feel about that with Sony. Okay. And hopefully they get that together. But look, I still love you, baby. I still love you, Sony. I'm so looking forward to Final Fantasy 16. I can't wait. Yeah. Anyway, that's another story. Let's get back to the lecture at hand. Now that we got that out of the way, I think I want to talk about a rumor out here in these video game streets that I heard, and maybe some of you guys heard as well. And I'm talking about Metal Gear Solid. Yes, you heard me correctly. Metal Gear Solid. They have been supposedly working on a remake out here. And some guy by the name of, let me get this shit right, Area Jug Ones. Supposedly he's a leaker. He's a guy who's done this before. And he's saying that there is a Metal Gear Solid game in the works, and apparently it's been in works for some years now, and it's going to be a PlayStation 5 exclusive. I don't know if that's real or not, but I'm assuming that it's going to be. Most of these leakers nowadays, you have to tend to believe most of them now, because a lot of them are right. And with today's technology and things that are going on out here now, it's really quite easy to leak shit. Okay, it's very hard to keep a lid on a lot of this stuff now going on, guys. There's always that one person who wants to go viral, who wants that big payday, who wants this or wants that, and wants to, make themselves known or unknown, okay, out here in these video game streets. And not just video games. I'm talking about every aspect, every medium out there, okay? This is just one in the chamber for many. In my opinion, I have to believe this. I'm not going to shy away from this. I think the original game came out in around 1988, man. I think if I'm getting my dates correct, it's a while ago. Okay. I'm sure there's a lot of people who are salivating at the mouth for this remake. I'm quite sure. I mean, they make great games. Let's just keep it real with each other. They make great games. They're all awesome. And I'm looking forward to this. If it is a real thing, I definitely can't wait to play that. But it'll probably be a while before we hear anything about it, but who knows? I could be wrong. Just thought I'd share that with you guys before I move on. Now, the next thing I want to talk about, man, I'm rubbing my hands together like Birdman right now because I want to talk about my anime watch list. And I saw a banger this past week, man. I saw a banger on Netflix, and Netflix can do it to you. Okay. Sometimes when you're thinking it's not going to do it, they do it. They fucking do it, man. And I've been surprised by Netflix on many occasions, guys. First time I was really surprised. My mind was completely blown was when I saw High Score Girl on Netflix. One of my favorite anime all time now. Season 1, season 2 on Netflix now. If you have not seen it, please check it out. If anything, just give it a gander. Just look about it. Check up on it. Okay. I would not recommend shit or boo to you guys. I promise you, I would not do that. And I highly recommend this anime. Anyway, that one rocked my world. And I have to admit, this last one here did the same thing. Now, there's been others on Netflix that have been, in my opinion, very good. Man, I think they did Baki. Yes, Baki is on there. And there's a couple other ones that were really good in Netflix. But the last one I saw this past week goes by the name of Lookism. Okay. Lookism. All right. It's 8 episodes long. I didn't think much of it, but when you go to your Netflix, Hulu's, whatever, they advertise, they show you. If you watch a lot of anime, they're going to advertise anime. You're going to watch dramas, they're going to advertise dramas. So, I'm an anime guy. Most of the shit I watch there's anime based, and they recommended this to me. It didn't look like much from a first glance. Okay. But a lot of people were talking about this one, and it was trending at one time. So I said, you know what, let me lift up, the hood and see what's up under there. And let's find out what's going on with it. Before I get started with that, I'm going to take another sip of the sake, so please bear with me. Ooh, sorry for smacking, but yeah, that shit was wet. Anyway, this anime caught me off guard, guys. I have to say it. I actually really, really enjoyed this anime. I think of it as a pretty big surprise for me. I did not see this one coming. Now, I knew it may be decent, but I did not know it was going to be as good as it was. It's about a kid in high school who's overweight, unpopular, and he's teased every day. He's done so wrong, man. I mean, I felt myself getting upset. Okay. They just they treat him like shit. I mean, they did so many things. I'm not even going to get into it. Just watch it yourself and you'll understand what I'm talking about. But yeah, it was a bully session every day. And he decided, he wanted to get away from there. His mother, who was poor, struggled, did her best, broke her back for her son. Her son, with this bullying, she wanted to send him away. So she tried to send him away to another school, pay for a room and board and all that in another area so he could try to, do better. Same thing happened. Okay. It followed him like a fucking stench. All right. And the same thing was going on. Okay. And then one day he just got very frustrated. Okay. And for whatever reason, I don't know why, he wakes up as a alternate version of himself. Okay. The version of the main character in this is a fat, kind of chubby, short, nerd looking kind of guy. Okay. And the alter ego or the altered version of him is a tall, handsome kind of guy. He looks like he's in K-pop or some shit like that. And I mean, he was so good looking in this anime that, I mean, everybody who saw him, I mean, he just blew him away, even guys, which is crazy. It's a dope anime, man. And I don't want to give too much away because there's way more to this. There's way more to it. It's like why it happened. And, there's some quirky things going on. But I was really surprised on how they put it all together in 8 episodes and how they left it. Okay. At the end, this is how I know I've seen a good anime. If I watch the anime and when the credits roll on that last episode, I immediately pick up my phone and I Google that anime and I type in season 2. If I do that shit, that's how I really know it did something. It left a mark on me. Okay. I don't know who else watched this anime out there, but go watch this shit. This anime is fucking fire. Okay. I promise you, this anime is fire. Check it out. Lookism. It's on Netflix. I don't want to give too much away because, man, I would just be, yeah, there's some fighting in this too. I looked at it as, maybe a slice of life type of anime, something like that, a coming of age type of anime. And it is that in certain aspects, but it also had a little squabble in there. Okay. It had a little, some characters in there getting their shirts dirty. So I'll leave it at that. And it's definitely interesting. And I was into it the whole time, man. I really, really enjoyed myself with this one. So if you are looking for something short and sweet, easy to get into, you can finish this up in a couple hours. Definitely check this one out on Netflix. Lookism. And I hope they come out with a season 2. All right. That's my anime watch list. And while I'm in the anime mood right now, I might as well go ahead and talk about an anime that kind of surprised me. Really a character in an anime that kind of surprised me. And I'm talking about Naruto, or shall I say Boruto. And the character I'm talking about is Sasuke. Uchiha. Okay. Sasuke. What am I talking about? Sasuke supposedly getting his own anime adaptation. Now, before you get crunk, before you get too excited and all that type of stuff, all the Sasuke fans out there, calm down a little bit. I'll explain what I mean by that. Okay. And what I mean by that is he's going to have 2 episodes from what it looks like, from what I've read. Okay. There's going to be 2 episodes and it's going to be written in the Boruto story. Okay. So we're talking about episode, I think 282 and 283 in Boruto. Now this is supposed to air next year early, January 8th, 2023. So all the Sasuke fans in the land probably already know about this, probably looking forward to it. Maybe you didn't hear about this, but yes, this is a thing happening. It's going to, I guess, highlight the time after the last Ninja War with Sasuke, of course, and with his wife, technically. Are they married? I don't even know. Did they get married? I can't believe as a Naruto fan, I don't know if they're married or not. My brain is kind of shot. The Saki is, it's in there. But anyway, it's supposed to take place between him. If it's going to focus on him, it's going to focus on Sakura. Okay. So I'm going to get to see what's going on. You're going to probably get to see Sasuke, give her the cold shoulder for 2 long episodes, like he did in all of fucking Naruto. Okay. I just thought it was crazy. I'm not the biggest Sasuke fan. I definitely respect Sasuke. Please don't get twisted. I respect the fuck out of Sasuke, especially his growth as a ninja and everything that happened to him and what he chose to do after the last Ninja War and after his bout with Naruto and all of that happened. I definitely respect him for sure. His ability, all that shit. He's not my favorite character. You guys know my favorite character. If you don't, he's the copy ninja. He's the one you love to hate, and he is Kakashi. Okay? Enough said about that. Now, what I'm wondering, first thing I thought in my mind when I saw that is, where's Kakashi's backstory? Because they all had novels. Okay? There's like short novels that existed. There's one with Sasuke involving him. There's also one with Kakashi. And most of this stuff surrounds what they've done or what they did after that big major 4th Ninja War, that event that took place and all that. Okay? We all know Kakashi was, the Hokage at one point and all that. And I really want to know more on him, like what he did, what was going on, where was he when all this other stuff was going on in Boruto. I'm very curious to know, and why didn't he jump in or why didn't he get in a fight? And some of the other OGs as well, like I know what happened to Might Guy, of course, but I'm talking about, not Might Guy, but I'm talking about Rock Lee, or so to speak. That's another character that I really regret. I really wish they would, do more with, or they could have done more with, in my opinion. He's supposed to end up being better than his sensei. You're supposed to always surpass your sensei and all that. And for the most part, most of these characters did. I just wonder if he was able to surpass Might Guy, because That's a big step. And, you know, I'm curious, man. And these are questions that we will not get answered, at least right now in the foreseeable future. I think what's going on here, we had that 20th anniversary of Naruto, and they were doing some things, and I'm glad that they are doing more things for this series because, you know, they don't get enough love. They don't get enough respect in some aspects. I'm not going to say everything, but compared to like the One Pieces and Dragon Balls and stuff, I think Naruto needs a little bit more respect. That's just my humble opinion about it. As far as anything, I'm talking about even down to the merch that they produce for each entity. Dragon Ball, you can get a million different Dragon Ball shits, man, all over, all kind of characters, man. You know how many characters Dragon Ball has? So fucking many. But Naruto is equally that in spades, okay? And Naruto's characters, I think personally, are better characters. A lot of them are, you know, deeper characters, you know, and we don't have a lot of stuff with them. You know, you have some things here and there, but as far as a merch standpoint and a collector like me and stuff like that, or even just extra stories, I like to see some of that. You know, I like to see a little bit more of that love, you know, happening. And like I said, this could be a beginning to a beautiful thing that's happening now with the Sasuke thing, what they're doing. And I hope they expand on that and start doing that with other characters. You know, and one thing Naruto was cool with that I loved about it is that they always gave you insight to everybody involved in the series, you know, and they didn't do that with Boruto. They kind of stopped. I know they were trying to make it about Boruto. I know this, and his companions and everybody around him. But at the same time, there was so much that was built on the back of Naruto and all of his people and all of his classmates and his people involved that it should take more. I think it should take more precedence in what's going on in Boruto, you know, even though the writer and everybody is trying to make it about Boruto, but it's really hard to escape all the things that happened and led up to where Boruto is. Okay. That's just how I feel about it. You know, I'm going to speak my thoughts and my opinions and how I feel about it, you know. So hopefully we see something more. We see this blossom into something where we can get more out of other characters. I would really love to see that, man. I really would. And hopefully we get another remake or something on Naruto, or like something like a spinoff. Like, who knows? Maybe we get something like that. I would love to see more of that. That's exciting news though. Anything Naruto based that's coming out, I'm excited for it. I would love to see some more Naruto games. I love the Ninja Storm series, but I would love to see like Broken Bond or something like that redone, or at least put out on other systems besides the Xbox. I would love to see something like that. So that's my humble opinion, guys, just how I feel about it. And I'll leave it right there. All right. What I want to talk about next is some games. Some games I have been fucking playing this past week. I had a pretty good week, man. The Nintendo Switch has really had my attention this past week, guys. And I say it all the fucking time. Okay. If you're a gamer and you're curious about getting a system, maybe you don't have any yet, or really, you know, maybe you're trying to get into something and you don't know what to buy. It's Christmas time. You don't know. I'm telling you, you know, a lot of people, everybody's talking about the PlayStation 5, and I get it. The PlayStation 5, my cousin called me the other day, and he was trying to find one. Okay. And I said, yo, man, you're not going to get it unless you're willing to pay that scalped price for it right now. I mean, I'm just telling you. And to be honest with you, man, they've gotten a lot better. I'll give them that. They've gotten a lot better. I looked on eBay recently and they're pretty good, man. I think for a discless PlayStation, you can get one for $600. I think that's not that bad. You know, I paid $700 for mine, and that was good at the time because they were going for around averaging like $900. So I kind of looked at that as a good thing, but it was worth it for me. You have to ask yourself, you know, is it worth it? Are you a gamer, or are you a casual gamer? Like what are you trying to do here? And for somebody like me, you know, already I do this as a hobby, a major hobby. So I had to have it, and it was definitely worth the purchase. Okay. And I think most people who have a PlayStation 5 will agree to that. You know, any system really. I mean, you can't go wrong with any one. And I tell people that all the time. Every one of them has its strength. Okay. Nintendo is the weakest one when you talk about hardware comparison, but that has nothing to do with the actual IPs and the beauty that Nintendo brings to the table, because it does. It does. Like I said, I'm living proof of that, and so many more. I own every system, and I really take my time with each one, and I go from each one. There'll be times and weeks that I only play one or the other, and that's just what it is. This whole past week has been the Nintendo Switch, guys. And a few weeks ago before that, it was all about the motherfucking PlayStation 5 because God of War and all these other things. I also had the demo of Forspoken that just came out. So you see what I'm saying here? And then I'm gonna get to the Xbox very, very soon. Don't worry about that as well. So I'm just saying that it's a beautiful thing, to have all three, or just you can't lose with any one of them. If you're trying to find that gift for that person, that certain someone, you can't go wrong with any one of them, man. I would tell you straight up. If you got a budget, you're on a budget, you don't feel like paying overpriced, scalped prices and stuff like that. Cool. You got your Switch you can go with, or you got your Xbox. Okay. Series S, you can go with. All right. I got my son a Series S. He had an Xbox One. So he's going to get his upgrade. He has all his friends on there. He has Game Pass on there. He's been playing a lot of PlayStation 5, though. I'm not going to lie. He played it all fucking day to day. He's been playing Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2 like a motherfucker. Okay. A lot. He's putting in work. He's putting in work. So yeah, I say that to say, there's something out for everybody, guys. That's basically what I'm trying to say. I'm sorry. I'm starting to sound long winded here, but that's what it is. You just can't go wrong. And I think that, that's my opinion on it. I had a great time with the Switch though this past week, and I'm going to get into the games that I've played. But before I do that, I want to talk about one on the Xbox Game Pass. And this game has a lot of mixed reviews. Okay. A lot of them. And I'm talking about High on Life. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, this is a game from the creators of Rick and Morty, believe it or not. Yeah, that show. And it's a very weird game. Okay. It's a shooter at heart, and it's pretty quirky. Okay. You have a gun, you get invaded by aliens, and then you have to end up leaving, and you go to another native alien planet to try to figure out what the fuck is going on. It's a lot to it. It's definitely all over the place, but you are in control of a weapon, which is a gun, and a knife, and both weapons are alive. Literally. They have eyes, they blink, they talk, and they cuss a lot. Okay. And they fucking joke a lot. I'm going to take another sip of this sake. Excuse me. That's good water. Anyway, it's crazy game, man. It's free on Game Pass. That's why I checked it out. I was curious about it. Now, me personally, if I have to give it a score from what I played, I played all the way up to the first boss, and that was enough for me to kind of get an idea of where the game was going, what I'd have to look forward to as far as the gameplay loop was concerned. And it was okay. It was just okay. It was, in my opinion, it was nothing to write home about. And like I said, the reviews are kind of all over the place. I just checked them out here. IGN gave it 8 out of 10. PC Gamer gave it a 40%, and Metacritic gave it a 67%. So, okay, it's kind of up and down. It's all over the place. I think this one is definitely a super subjective game. You're going to either like it or you're just not, I think. Or you could be like me and just kind of like, is it a game that I'm going to finish? No, it's not. I already automatically knew that. So I'll probably be I'm taking that off the Xbox very soon. I'm not going to be playing. I don't see myself playing it. It's definitely not for children. So I would not recommend that. It is definitely a mature game. So keep that in mind if you are going to play it. And it looks like it's on the screenshot. It looks, it could look like a child's game. Like, yeah, my daughter would love this. No, don't do that. Okay. Don't do it to yourself. Like I said, there's some people out there who may fucking love this. I was not a Rick and Morty guy either, so I didn't get into the show. I wasn't a fan of that. But if you are a fan of that, which I have a friend of mine who loves Rick and Morty, he may love this fucking game. I haven't talked to him yet. It's been a couple of days, but I will ask him. I told him that the game was out. He said he was going to check it out. We'll see. I don't know. That's where I am on that game. But these are the quirks, though. These are some of the quirks of having Game Pass, because you get this, and there's going to be other games that you're going to get. And there's other games now as we speak that you can have and play right now. There's a lot of great games. That's all I'm going to tell you. And I've talked about a lot of them in the past, and I'll talk about a lot of them moving forward, because I think as far as Xbox is concerned and Game Pass is concerned, they're going to do some good things in 2023. I think this is going to be their year when they finally start to show some stuff. Okay. that is actually going to, I mean, I think Game Pass is worth it now, but there's some people who are kind of, they're other fans of other systems, and they're maybe on the fence about Game Pass, and they're wondering. But if you're going to do it, 2023 should be the year to make you go ahead and say, you know what, I'm going to at least give it a try. Here we go. Because there's a lot of games that are coming out there that I mean, like I said, I cannot wait to play that are just on the Game Pass. One in particular I'm really looking forward to is Atomic Heart. It's a first person game. And like I said, I don't play a lot of first person games, but this one just gave me a BioShock kind of vibe to it. And that's the game, if you guys are new to the podcast, that's the game, the first person game that got me into playing first person games. I don't play a lot of them. There's certain franchises I fuck with, but a lot of them I don't. But BioShock is forever my favorite franchise as far as first person franchise is concerned. That kind of got me into other ones like the Far Cry series, which is another one of mine that I really love. So, it goes with what it is. I don't play a multiplayer. I don't like multiplayer first person games. Put it like that. If it's a story based single player game, I may give it a try. And those stories have to be elite stories. And BioShock has that. Every last one of those games offers that to you. Okay. Same thing with some of the Far Cry games. Some people may have an argument with that, but in my humble opinion, I truly believe that. In my heart. So it just depends, guys. But Game Pass is definitely, I think, going to be extremely worth it for people who are on the fence next year, 2023, for sure. If you're like me, you already know there are already some great things that they have available right now on the Game Pass. Persona 5 Royale, that's there. I mean, there's a lot of games already that are pretty dope on there. Okay. Plague's Tale series, that's there. There's a lot of stuff. So you be the judge of that and decide. Okay, it just depends. I'd say casual gamers pick up an Xbox. You could even say that for the Switch because they have a lot of family oriented games. They have a lot of indie games, and they're also fucking portable. Okay, like you can take it anywhere. Like I literally have a kit of a few items that if I travel and if I have to travel, I can get the Switch. I don't need my fucking dock station. I can just take the Switch and these items, any hotel room, any place with a TV, boom, I can hook it up and I can do my thing. I have a wireless controller, 8-bit DO controller, which I highly recommend for gamers, not just Nintendo Switch players, but PC players. Check that out. Or if you even play tablet games and stuff like that, it's an excellent controller, man. Great controller. But yeah, the Switch has so many accessories and things. Like, it's just a fun system, man. So it's a lot of things. And even the Series S has some things that make it fun. If you wanted to take it portably, you could actually do that. There's literally a screen you can buy and you can attach it to the Series S and flip it up and literally play your shit just like that. You know what I'm saying? The only thing with that, in my opinion, would be the downside to that would be trying to get some Wi-Fi, depending on where you're at. If you're trying to play it like literally on a plane or some shit, good luck. It's not probably going to happen because Microsoft is synonymous right now with, if you don't have internet connection, you're not going to get access to your games. And that includes the games you actually bought with your money. Okay. Because if the internet goes out here right now, guys, I will not have access to any of my games, including the ones that I paid for. Okay. You have to do some funky ass login type shit. It's crazy shit that you got to do. And it doesn't allow you to do it if you have no internet connection. So that's my issue with Xbox. That's really one of my own pet peeves with Xbox. But aside from that, everything else is love. PlayStation doesn't do that. Nintendo doesn't do that. So if I have no internet in the house and I still want to play some shit, I could turn on my Switch. I could turn on my PlayStation. If I pay for those games and downloaded those games, I can have access to them. I do not need the fucking internet. That's all I'm saying. So think about those things as well. Most of us, we may have a episode or two where our internet goes out periodically, not often. And, that's not a big deal. So you be the judge. I'll let you decide. Anyway, moving on to the Switch. Let's get into this Nintendo Switch. I've been playing two games, like crazy. Okay. My son, we're playing River City Girls. I want to talk about River City Girls 2. Guys, this is a game that I've been preaching about. I've been talking about for months. It's my all-time favorite beat 'em up of all time, River City Girls 1. And now I can safely say that River City Girls 2 is going to pass that. And both those games are my favorite beat 'em ups. River City Girls 2 is number one. Number two is River City Girls. Okay. If you're into beat 'em ups, if you're into retro 16-bit style graphics, that kind of nostalgic feel, you're going to fucking love it. Especially this game is a complete package. I mean, both of them are. I mean, you got the soundtrack. Everything is just love. Okay. The soundtrack on River City Girls 1, I fucking adore it. I haven't had a chance to listen to all the soundtrack on this one because we're still kind of, new right now. Like me and my son, we started playing it. We've probably been playing it for, I want to say 5-6 hours. We have probably in the game right now. We started out with a couple characters we had in the first game. Well, there's 6 characters in all in the second game. The first game was awesome because you played it with the girls, which were, you got a chance to play with the girls, which is Masako and Kyoko. I think it's Kyoko. And once you beat the game with them, you can play as their boyfriends, and that's Kunio and Ricky. And those are awesome characters as well. They're like the OGs from River City Ransom. Okay. If you don't know, but anyway, he played with them and we beat the game with all 4 characters. And then we were playing New Game Plus. I mean, we were doing our thing, and then 2 came out. I ordered this game actually from Play Asia. If you guys aren't familiar with Play Asia and you're, not just a Switch fan, but if you're into physical copy games, okay, that don't necessarily come out in the States and that you won't find in the States, Play Asia is a website that takes care of that for you. I'm not promoting them or anything like that. I just fuck with them. They're a place you might want to go for physical copy games because some companies don't actually come out with physical games and they actually do it. They're kind of like limited run games in a way where they're a company who actually will print out games physically for you for companies who don't do it necessarily. It's pretty cool. It really is. And the cool thing about the Nintendo Switch, in my opinion, is that it's not region locked like a lot of their other stuff used to be. So you can buy a game from Japan or China or whatever, and you can play it in your American-based PlayStation, your Switch, and do your thing. I bought the version I bought it has 1 and part 2 on one disc, on one fucking cartridge, which is cool. And it's literally in fucking Japanese. Okay. The whole game. Like if you look at the package, the front and back, it's all written in Japanese. I think I posted it. Did I post it? Yeah, I posted it on my Instagram. Check it out at Studio MacGyver and, check it out, man. It's a dope game though, but it already came, English already was on the cartridge. So I didn't even have to do anything. I just put it in, played it, and there was English there. So if I wanted to switch to Japanese, I could do that. But anyway, it's both games, 1 and 2 on the fucking cartridge. Yo, you can't lose because River City Girls, the first game I bought it digitally on the Switch, but now I have it physical. Both of them on the same cartridge. I love the cartridge. I love the art style, everything about it. Dope. But anyway, limited run games or Play Asia. I got mine from Play Asia. I think the North American version came out on the 15th. So yeah, you can't go wrong with this game. This game is awesome, guys. We have 2 new characters to the party. There's this chick who is she looks like a dancer, a break dancer or whatever. And I think her name is, Provi, Provie. And then you have the one that I've been so anticipating playing, Marion. Okay. Marion has made appearances in the other games. She was also in River City Ransom. So she's a staple character. She's a character in the game and you actually going to get to play as her. She looks cool. I haven't unlocked it yet. I'm trying to. We got to an area in the game where we just couldn't handle ourselves, man. Okay. We were a little too early. Our stats were a little too low and we were getting warm butter pulled out on us, pretty much all the time. Okay. It was at this basketball court at this park and yeah, it happened. But I'm saying all this to say this fucking game is amazing. And I also want to give a shout out to one of my listeners, a longtime listener. He claims he's a longtime listener and he is. I looked him up. His name, he's actually a follower of mine, actually also on Instagram. And his name is Frank Father Time Hale or Hall. I'm sorry. Didn't mean to fuck that up, bro. Frank Father Time Hall. And he hit me with a message like the other day and he was like, yo, man, I'm looking for a 2-player game. I want to play with my kid or whatever. Is there something you want to recommend? And what did I tell him? I told him River City Girls 1 and 2 or 1 or 2. You can't go wrong with that shit, man. Like I said, if you're looking to bond with your kids, you want to play something with them, whatever, this game I highly, highly recommend. It's so fun. It's so great, no matter what system you have, because it's available everywhere. If you have a PlayStation 4, if you have a PlayStation 5, you can play it. If you have an Xbox, anything you have, Nintendo Switch, you can play it there. Okay. These games are just, they're no-brainers for the Nintendo Switch in me, because they're portable, and I would love to just be able to take this anywhere and everywhere. That's what I'm saying. So shout out to him. Thank you guys. Thank you for your support, bro. He said he was a long time listener and all that. And I'm just glad that you like the show. And hopefully this game, is one that you can use and it works for you guys. And it's not very expensive. I want to say it's like $25, $35 between there, depending on where you buy it at. So it's not going to break the bank. I recommend you guys get the one with 1 and 2. I think I paid $35 for that, and you get the first one and the second one. I mean, you can't go wrong. You got 2 games for the price of 1, and they're both classics in my opinion. I'm telling you, if you're looking for a beat 'em up, even better than Streets of Rage 4, okay, which a lot of people hail the greatest beat 'em up. I don't think it's better than River City Girls. I just don't. And, Turtles, the Ninja Turtle game came out. I have that one as well. But I'm telling you guys, from just a player standpoint, it's the deepest beat 'em up you're going to find. Also, it's very deep. The fighting system is very deep. It was already pretty deep in the first game, but the second game, from what I'm finding out now, is even deeper. They're adding layers to this. The game is bigger than the first game. They've fixed a lot of things, or they've changed a few things for the better. I will say definitely for in the second game. There's a couple of examples I could give you. There's safe houses now in this game, so you can go and in these safe houses you can swap characters because you have 6 playable characters, or you will once you unlock the other 2, but you can swap between them. And now you can also swap between your assists, because in River City Girls 1, you could when you beat certain characters up, you beat them to a pulp when they start begging you not to kill them or not to hurt them or knock them out. And you can say, okay, I won't knock you out. You'll join me. So you can pick them and choose them, and they can actually join you. And then you can, I think, hit left trigger or right trigger while you're fighting, and they will come and jump in and do a little move, kind of like an assist character would. Now, River City Girls 2, you actually have 2 of those slots. So you can take 2 people with you. And in River City Girls 1, I think once you use them one time, they were done. They were gone. They weren't coming back. So this game here, you get a number of uses for each one. So you actually have some nice assist characters. There's a lot of slots too. I mean, I think we've only unlocked maybe like 4 of them. And that's like, excuse me, guys. That is like, I think I want to say at least 20 to 30 different slots. I want to say like more towards 30 that you can get, as you play the game, as you unlock characters and stuff like that. And so they've done so many great things. Even now in the second game, they've added air combos. Oh my God, the air combos are dope. I just love how you can do the combo system, guys. The combo system is sick in this. I'm telling you right now, there's no other beat 'em up doing this. Okay, Streets of Rage 4, the Ninja Turtle game, and there's some other ones out there like Fight and Rage and stuff like that. I pretty much have most of the beat 'em ups, man, the popping ones. Okay, I really do. I've played most of them, and like I said, it's one of my favorite genre of games. Really, right behind my action adventure and right behind my fighting games, because it's technically considered a fighting game. But this is the deepest one so far, man. I haven't found one better. And it just offers so many great things. The soundtrack, the music is crazy good. Okay. It's live. Okay. It's a great game. And we're early in the game, very early, but knowing what I know after playing the first game, I mean, I'm already satisfied 3 times over. I'm just telling you right now. So I'm basically highly recommending River City Girls 2 to anybody who's looking for a beat 'em up. And what's cool about this one compared to the first one as well is the fucking co-op. All right. Now you have 2-player co-op, couch co-op on the first game. All right. This game here, the second game, you have that. Okay. That came with the game, but they're also adding up to 4 players via online. So you can have 4 players playing around online, playing the shit. You just can't beat this shit. And then the cool thing is also you can swap your characters at safe houses. You go to safe house, you fucking, I like my character Ricky is one of my favorite characters in the game. One of the boyfriends. I got him to where in an uncomfortable place right now, and I was like, you know what? I want to switch up. I want to switch up at the safe house next time. So I'm going to do that. And if you're playing with somebody else, they don't have to do it. They can continue to roll with who they want, or you can just switch it up and just, you have more freedom. And it's cool like that, man. I really, really enjoy my time with this game. And we're probably going to beat it 3-4 times over. We're probably going to beat it, each character for sure, one time. So that's 3 playthroughs right there. I mean, just think about that. Okay. And then you unlock everything. You usually don't unlock everything in the first playthrough. So you go back and get all the other stuff, and you go New Game Plus, and you go run through it again. So yeah, man, I can't wait. I'm having a ball, having a blast with it, with him on this game. So that's going to be our game for his Christmas break. I'm going to try to maybe pick up one more thing for us to jump into, maybe some wrestling or something. And that should hold us over, you know? Yeah, and we watch scary movies and stuff too, so I think I have something for that too. So yeah, this is a great bonding game. If you're looking for that, definitely check that shit out, man. The other game I'm playing, which is playing in the background right now as I'm speaking to you guys in this microphone, I'm talking about Crisis Core Final Fantasy 7 Reunion. Okay, man, this game originally came out for the PSP back in like 2007. I have a PSP. I did not have this game. I did not have this fucking game. All right. It's a game that I definitely knew about. I definitely remember. And I never got a chance to pick it up for whatever reason. I never got a chance, but I am so happy now that I am picking this up, guys. And I'm kind of like in my Final Fantasy mood right now. I'm in my Final Fantasy mood. I'm going to play this. Then I'm going to play the 7 remake. And then I'm going to, play the DLC. I think, that's what I think where my head is at right now. Okay, I'm enjoying myself. I'm enjoying Zack as a character. I'm still early on in the story and all of that, but I really come to appreciate the world of Final Fantasy VII and everything surrounding it, man. All these characters, all these awesome characters, Genesis and all these guys. I'm really, really digging it. And right now I'm grinding, and I've been playing it for, I think, how many hours now? I want to say I have about 24 hours in this game right now. So yeah, I've been putting in some work. Okay. Yeah, playing it on the Switch. I'm glad that I had it on the Switch. Like I said, the portability of it is cool. I've already had it in the room on the Switch and played it there, you know what I'm saying? And then moved it back into the man cave and put it back there. So that's why, I do that. This game is born, okay? It's born to be put on the Switch, okay? Same thing with River City Girls, in my humble opinion. And there's some other games that are coming out. There's another game that came out that I'm excited about. It's a Metroidvania game. I love me some Metroidvania games too, guys. Don't get it twisted. I want to say the game, damn, I can't think of the fucking game right now. Oh my God. Anyway, I'll definitely bring this game back up next week. I'll probably end up playing it then. Once I get my hands on it and stuff, I'll play it. It's like $20 game right now, but I've been waiting on it. It's been out on PC for a while, and I was so mad when I saw the trailer because I was like, yo, I really want to play this. But it said coming to Nintendo Switch. It wasn't out yet. So I was like, okay, please let me know when this is going to be available because I want to play this. I think it's called like Haiku or some shit like that. I think that's how you pronounce it. But yeah, you're this like little machine piece, chunk of machine, whatever the fuck. And you're like, I don't know. It's very, it looked like it was made with care. One guy made the game, and you can kind of tell they put a lot of fucking love and care into these games. These are the indie games that I just gush over all the time, man, because there's just so much care put into them, man. You can't not deny that. And these are the games I like. These are games that I want physical copies for, and hopefully we may get one. Who knows? But I haven't played it yet. I have to play it. Hopefully it's as good as people say it is, because everybody on Steam says it's definitely the shit. So I'm definitely going to give it a gander eventually. I have like 3 or 4 Metrovanias on the Switch right now that I haven't even played yet. But hey, that's the beauty of it, man. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. My backlog is stupid on the Nintendo Switch right now. And these games are just sitting on their hard drive right now on my fucking SD card. So if you are going to buy a Nintendo Switch, the number one thing you fucking want to buy next, or I recommend buying the same fucking day you buy it, it's not going to set you back a lot of money, is a fucking micro SD card. Okay. You can't leave home without it. That is what you need, because 25 gigs or so space is not going to do a lot for you. Okay. A lot of these games are pretty chunky, and you definitely want to have some more options. That's all I'm going to say to you. That's all I'm going to say. I try to download my indies more so than anything else on there. And every once in a while you have to download a thicker game, and some of them are pretty thick, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 gigs. on some of these, even a little bit more, depending on what it is. So it just depends on what you want to do. Just make sure you get a card, have some extra space, because I promise you, that shit's going to fill up quick when you start discovering games, when sales start popping up and you're like, yo, I just bought 5 games for $10 because these crazy sales, you know? And I've done that. I've literally done that before. So that's all I'm saying. Just be ready and strapped up and ready to go. Okay. But yeah, Crisis Core, man, I'm loving it. I can't wait to get to the end of the story and all that. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited. So when I get through with this, I'm going to jump back on and I'm going to try to, get further in the game. Yeah, we're going to get it done. But anyway, excuse me. Last thing I want to talk about, guys, is, remakes. Remakes I wish that, we had. We got a lot of them. Let's keep it real with each other. There's a lot to be thankful for. Okay. But what about the ones that never came to fruition? What about the ones that never made it in your mind? Okay. And there's a few of them here. I wanted to just, run by you guys real quick, but there's one in particular, man, that I'm surprised they haven't done this one yet. And we still may be blessed enough to get this. I'm just not sure. I think as more time goes by, I don't know if it's going to happen. And I just really hope we can get it done. I hope Blue Point will do it. And I'll get to that in 2 shakes of Limsdale. But let's start with one in particular that I really loved growing up on the PlayStation. And that was Siphon Filter. I really want a Siphon Filter remake. I loved that game. It was so good. It was just so fucking good. And the PSP games, God, please don't get it twisted. They were excellent. I loved them. I would love to get a fucking remake, guys. I would love to, even on the Switch, I would love to get a remake of this game. This is one of the games I really wish we could do that for. Another game that popped in my mind that I had so many great memories with was on the Sega Saturn, and it went by the name of Nights into Dreams. Okay, a lot of people won't know this. You got to be a certain age to remember these fucking games a lot of the times. And this is one of those games. I remember this game, oh my God, just flying around in a crazy world. And just, I don't know, it just gave me I was in some sort of euphoria, man, every time I played that shit. I don't know. I can't explain it. I just really can't. All I can tell you is that the game, it was a special game. And I think it will always be a special game to me. And a lot of people feel the same way about this game as well. I just want a dope remake, I don't know. Maybe I'm just wishing a little too hard. Another game here, guys, my all-time favorite game on the Nintendo Wii. Okay, this game, when it came out, it blew people's minds because I don't think they were ready for this game. I don't think they were ready for the blood. I didn't think they were ready for the gore. Not on the Nintendo Wii. I don't think they were. And the only company in my mind that could have done this the right way is a company that goes by the name of Platinum Games. All right. This is what makes me love Platinum Games. This game here was one of the ones that just put them on the map for me. And it's called Mad World. Mad World needs a fucking remake. Shit, fuck it. Mad World, just give me an HD version and put it on the Switch. I would love that. And I never understood why we didn't get that. Could it be over? Could we get it one day? I mean, it's possible. It's very possible, but I just don't think it is, man. It's been too long. Too much time has passed. I don't see this game getting an HD remake or anything like that. So you may have to just go out and get it for the original, get the Wii, or maybe you get an emulator or something like that, and maybe you can do that. But I would really love to see it. I'd be one of the first dudes in line buying the shit. Okay. Love this fucking franchise. Love it to death. If you guys don't know about Mad World on the Nintendo Wii, Google that shit. It was the art style. It was even crazy. It was black and white, 3 colors, black, white, and red. Okay. Your characters were black and white. And the only thing that you saw of the color was red. And it was a lot of it because there was a lot of crazy kills and, all the shit. It was over the top and I loved it. I loved it so much. So anyway, the last game on this list though, before I get out of here, guys, the last game on this list that I hope and pray we get a remake for is a game that goes by the name of Ico. IKO. Now, if you're familiar with one of my all-time favorite games of all time ever on the PlayStation 2, which was called Shadows of the Colossus, then you know what I'm talking about. This game was the shit. Okay, still is. They did a remake. You may be familiar with the one that Blue Point did. Okay, Blue Point did it. It's on PlayStation 4 or PlayStation 5. You can play it on, but beautiful remake they've done. Okay. The creators of this game, they went by Team Eco. Okay. And then I think in 2011, they changed their name to Gen Design, and they went on to produce games like Shadows of Colossus. But after that, they went on to produce a game that goes by the name of The Last Guardian, which I also have the collector's edition for. This is one of my favorite game devs. Okay. Gen Design / Team Eco, because those three games right there, and that's all they have really. Those three games, they all have one thing in common, man. They do everything in pairs. Okay. And it's beautifully written stories. And the one thing I love most about them is their stories are on a realer side of things, on more of a tragic side. Most of all their stories are tragic. They have tragic endings, or endings that are just unfavorable, just keeping it real. Somebody usually dies. Somebody's left in turmoil. It's always something like that. And it teaches valuable lessons, a lot of the time. And Eco was a game that, came out on the PlayStation. As a matter of fact, it came before Shadows of the Colossus, right? It was one of the early games for the PlayStation 1. Okay. No, PlayStation 2. I'm sorry. They tried to make it for the PlayStation 1, and they just couldn't get around to it. The technology just wasn't there quite enough. So they ended up moving it to the PlayStation 2, one of the early games on PlayStation 2. And so was the birth of this company. It's about a boy who was born with horns, and he was cursed. He had a cursed fate. They exiled him, literally, to a certain place, an area, in an abandoned castle where they do to all these children who are born with the same deficiency or the same plague or plight or whatever you want to call it. They take them and they put them in here and they lock them in there to starve to death and die. Okay. And it's for the good of the people, or so they say. I guess when they're born, and if they're not attended to or taken care of, just bad things are happening. Curses, crops won't grow, and people get plagues, and people are dying, and all these things happen. So they have to take that said individual and to this place where they kept all of them at, and they killed them there. They died slowly there. Okay, they locked them in this small little tomb, and there it was. Okay. And the spirits of those dead boys who were left there were fed to the queen of that castle, in this abandoned castle. And this queen had a daughter in this castle, and her name was Yorda, and she was locked up. Okay. The mother kept her own daughter locked away in this castle so that she could one day get enough strength to muster up enough to where she could literally take over her daughter's body. Okay. And use her body as a vessel. That's literally her only fucking goal in this game. And you, as a boy, you end up somehow, by the fates of the gods, end up getting free, okay, of your little tomb that you were in. And then you end up meeting this girl. And the crazy thing is, both of you guys had a language barrier. Okay. You didn't speak the same language. You didn't understand what each other was saying. So you had to signal and you had to communicate in a very primal manner to make it through. Okay. You had certain ways that you could move around the castle with your boyish strength, and you could climb and do certain things, but she was on the weaker side. Okay. But she also had this energy about her that would allow her to go through certain doors that you couldn't go through. So the object of the game was basically you had to find two ways out of the castle. You get through one, it's like a maze, it's like a puzzle. Okay. You find one way, okay, but you got to find a way for her, and vice versa. And basically your whole goal is to just escape, get out of the castle. It's an old abandoned castle. It's a booby trap. Sometimes it's a death trap. You can get killed. And then on top of all that, you have spirits from the queen, who she sends for you to try to, at different times of the game, will just randomly come out and try to grab you and take you away. Okay. You have to defend this girl, and you build a beautiful relationship without words. Okay. Gestures. You try to speak to each other, but it holds no weight. You know what I mean? And I just really thought this game was just so good, so well written, man. I really loved the story. I really did. And they just, everything they did with it, man, was just beautiful. Even at the end of the credits, I'm not going to spoil it for you guys. I mean, go look it up, or if you're curious or whatever, even go try to find the game. But this game had a PlayStation 2 release originally, and then they had a double pack HD release with this game, Eco, and Shadows of the Colossus on the PlayStation 3. I have that version. Okay. And I also have the updated version from Bluepoint, who's done the remake of Shadows of the Colossus, and they have that one. And I have that one. Now, I wish they gave the same treatment to Eco. I'm still hoping that maybe they will. I don't know. But Eco is a cult classic. It didn't come out popular. Okay. It wasn't a popular game at first. And then I don't know what happened. It caught on to people and people just started latching onto it. And then when people found out that, when Shadows of Colossus came out, fell in love with that game. But when they found out that this game was the prequel to Shadows of the Colossus, Shadows of the Colossus was the prequel to this game, everybody flocked and ran to it. And even there's even a lightsaber as a weapon in the European version, I think, of this game. There are just so many things that they did with this game that made it unique, in my opinion. And I really want this game. I really want them to do a remake of this game. Okay. Even if you just slap a whole new paint job on it, like you did with Shadows of the Colossus, I would fucking love that. But who knows? We could get it. Maybe we do. Most likely we probably won't. That's just something that I'll have to leave for another day. And that's why, I keep my PlayStation 3 around, man. It's not going anywhere. That's one of the games that I will always keep my PlayStation 3 around for. You just can't neglect it. Okay. So there you have it. Those are my games I wish we had remakes of. Okay. And with that, I'm going to bid you guys adieu. I'm going to bow out gracefully. I want to thank everybody for listening to the podcast. I did not expect it to go this far, this long, which is cool. It's fine, whatever. I'm glad I get to sit here and talk to people who feel the same way I do about video games and anime and nerd culture and shit like that. You just don't understand how much this type of shit means to somebody like me who gets to just who does this, man. I did not expect, anything out of this podcast. I really didn't. I just thought I was going to do it and talk about some passions of mine, and that'll be that, you know what I mean? And it's starting to turn into something a little bit more than that. And I appreciate all of it. I appreciate the listeners. I appreciate the support. Everybody, chiming in and leaving opinions and buying the merch when you bought it and all of these things, guys. I appreciate it. And I'm going to take all that love that was given and I'm going to manifest it and make it into something even more next year in 2023. I'm just trying to get better for you guys. I want to give you more access and all of this stuff, man. And I'm trying to take that next step. So every year I try to do a little something else. And that's what I'm trying to do. So like I said before, if you guys support me, which if you're listening, you're already doing enough of that and you want to do more, you can definitely check me out on DragonBallDrip.com and you can get some merch there. Also, I told you guys before last week, I am very, very serious about this YouTube channel, guys. This coming up year, 2023, there's going to be a ton of fucking content. I swear to God, this time it's real. Like I've already been taking the proper steps to make that a reality, and just be looking out for that. Okay. Random Gameplay Pimpin', okay, the YouTube channel. Check it out, subscribe, and I will be dropping content pretty much every day. Something. If it's not a YouTube short, if it's not a video game trailer, if it's not me having a discussion video or even podcast clips, there's going to be something on there almost every day. So just keep your eye on that and look out for that. And thank you guys for your support, and I hope you guys continue to do that. We do this every Monday, same bat time, same bat channel. And with that being said, guys, I'm going to get out of here. I love you guys dearly. This is your boy, Studio MacGyver, and you have been listening to Random Gameplay Pimpin'. See you next time.